Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Delta T Racing Thursday night. So it's time for Division 2. We're here from Japan, round number 7. Inside information that it's going to potentially be dry both sessions, so it's going to take away a little bit of fun. But right, okay, so who is the first one out? I normally always jump on with the first one. It is going to be Pavlosidor in the Alpine this week. Right, okay, just looking at the tables briefly that you saw come up before the start of the stream. You can see that Hammers is leading the championship at 114 points. Pav getting a, excuse me, a bit of wind there. Losing a bit of traction coming out of the hairpin there. But yeah, Hammers leading on 114 points with Bob Spudding second on 72 points. So we've got a 42-point gap there. So Hammers, with 4 rounds left to go, is certainly in the best position for this. In third place, we've got Hummer on 69 points, who has been a revelation in the last 3 races. One in Monaco, third place on the podium in Jeddah, and then pretty much dominating last week out in Portimao. So has catapulted himself up into second place. He'll be looking to continue some of that good form. Brother Adam in fourth on 61 points, and we've got Bogorovsky in fifth with 57, Pac-Man 42. Then we got Connor on 37, Man Like Donkey on 36 alongside Skipper, and then Ralph on 28, rounding out the top 10. Constructors, a little bit one-sided at the moment. McLaren team, 171 points in first position, with Red Bull second with 108 points. So a 63-point gap there. So again, really stating their claim to be the Constructors champions at the end of the season. Aston Martin on third in 98, AlphaTauri fourth at 97 points, then we drop down to Ferrari on 63 points. But the Ferraris, we've had 3 races where they haven't had a driver, and looking at now, it's going to be another one, I think, that we are going to have no Ferrari drivers. So that rounds out the top 5. Then we've got Williams, Alfa Romeo, Mercedes, Alpine, and Haas are yet to score. Hopefully they'll get some points on the board here. So right, okay, Pavlosidor now coming round the final couple of turns here to put a lap on the board. So 130.890. I expect that to go much lower, 28.643 for Hummer there. Okay, who is going to be? We've got a plethora of people crossing the line, and Connor next. Hammers getting a bit squirrely coming out of that final corner, 29.0. Then we've got Bogorovsky's going to be next, 28.9. So Bog up into second place. See who's next. Man Like a Donkey is not next. It was Bob Spun, and I completely missed him, taking provisional pole to 28.435. So these times are going to get quicker and quicker, obviously, as we go further in the session. Barjar there would have won 35.4. So not raced for a couple of weeks. I think it's going to be a bit of ring rust on him there. We've got Man Like Donkey 29.0, and just behind him, I think, was one of the excuse me, one of the Alfa Romeos. I'll get the words out in a minute. Right, okay, so this Skipper coming through towards the final section now. Comes across 29.199, pops him up into 8th position. majority will now be coming in, other than Connor, who is on a lap 29.4. I know Connor's got more in him than that. I think he was at 28.2 yesterday, racing up in Division 1, so he's got about another second he can find there. Ab's going to go for a second run on those setter softs, so he's done an out lap, a fast lap, a cool down lap, and now doing another fast lap, so his tyres are going to be a little bit worse for grip. Bajar here, 6 seconds up so far, so he's looking about a 29 and a bit wide there. Oh, 40.9, oh, he's 6 seconds slower than his time. Right, okay, looks like he might be going for another lap here. Needs to try and keep it on the black stuff a little bit. Okay, let's jump on with Scully. Scully's completed, so he's out of ERS double in the pits. Just want to see if there's anybody that is likely to be. And powerful. We'll just have a he's invalidated anyway. Bajar's now 1.3 seconds up on his time, so I think just getting a little bit of practice out there, just getting the groove back, shall we say. Oh, that was close, Skipper. Scully moving out of the way nicely there. Right, okay, so Hummer is on an out lap, and so is Bob Sputton. So what we're going to keep an eye on these two, because Bob has got very good pace in him. Did well yesterday in the Division 1. As you know, normally they do the Division 2 drivers that reserve in Division 1. They put up a good showing. Connor, I say qualified well, but unfortunately lost connection in the race. And then the car basically retired whilst he was disconnected, so it was unfortunate for him, so he didn't get as much practice in as he would like. Okay, so Hummer just backing up a bit, so he's got oodles of space behind him, so it's not a problem. Right, we'll stick on board with Hummer, we'll see what he can do. Got Bob about a third of a lap behind, so they did quite well spaced out here. I also want to keep an eye on Bog. I'm not sure where he is at the moment. Just going around the centre S's, so we've got time to jump back to Bog, and obviously championship leader Hammer's currently in 5th place. It looks like Hummer has backed out of that one. Yep. So we'll stick with Bob, just about to start his out lap. I'm not sure anyone else is on a lap. Bajar keeps going, but I think he's going to run out of petrol or tyres soon. So Pav now comes in, put on a fresh set. I think Double might be the next on his lap. We'll stick on with him. Took a little bit of grass there. Hander underneath the bridge up towards the hairpin. The yellow flag flashing at the way there, but I think that's just somebody getting out the way. Looks like one of the McLarens getting out of the way a bit further up for I think it's Hummer a little bit further up, and one of the McLarens just getting out of the way, thinking he was on a lap. What have you got here? He's been hitting the top of about 111, 112.6, so he is quicker, but he's barely going to break into the 29s. Hummer has aborted that and come into the pit, so I'm going to just jump on with Bob now, coming into the final sections, just going around Spoon at the moment. We'll see what his time is. This looks pretty quick, to be honest. Could be down in the low 28s, if not up into 27s, 11.241. I think he could be looking at a high 27 here if he can nail this final sector. curb there. It was a bit jolty there, but I'm not sure if that's the 27.9, so half a second quicker. So Bob being the first person into the 27s. See what Bog is doing, going around Spoon. We've got Hammers a bit further back, just approaching underneath the bridge. Let's just see if Hammers is up or not. No, we won't. Right, okay, so Bog into the final chicane. 3 seconds down, so I think he might have... Yeah, he's given up on that one coming into the pits. 6.5 minutes left, so plenty of time to put on a fresh set. So we'll see what the split is at the top of the hill here. 11 is 12.1. Yeah, he's slightly down on his time, so not going to be any real improvement there. Wonder if he will decide to come into the pits, give this up and put a fresh set of tyres on. No, he's still going to go for it. 28.9, so 5th place there. We're just behind his teammate. Okay, who do we have on a lap now? Let's see who the furthest person round is. Double now coming into the pits. So Bob will be coming into the pits, so he has done his lap and now on a cool down lap. So who do we have? Brother Adam? No, it's going to be one of the Alpines. Is it Ralph? I think he might be out of fuel. So cutting it a bit fine there, but man like Donkey now coming up around 130R towards the chicane. Corner start finish, we'll see what time can he drop down. 28.6, so moves himself up into 2nd position. Hammer is now on another outlap. Hammers, I'm not sure if he's on. No, it's a slow down lap, 1.6 seconds down. Skipper, again, that was another slow lap. Composite's teammate is nearly half a second up. So half a second is going to take into a 29.8. Wouldn't be an improvement in position, but obviously a half second improvement in time is nothing to be sniffed at. But we'll see whether he has got more in the final sector. Might have had a slow final sector as well, so we'll see what time he can eke out. Composite now coming round the final turn, 30.1, so doesn't manage to break into the 29s, but a big improvement for him nevertheless. Okay, Hummer, how is he getting on? So coming up towards Spoon. Along the back stretch up towards 130R, sorry. Flat out. Used to be a lift many years ago around there, but now flat out. Cut the corner here slightly. So I'm getting a bit further over to the right and cutting that corner back across. 28.4, so plops himself back onto the front row in 2nd place ahead of man like Donkey Bog in 4th. And Hammers in 5th. So Bob just about to start an outlap now. Skipper has retired for the session. He's happy with his work and will be starting from 8th position. We're down to 3 minutes left in the session. Interesting that Bob has the fastest Sector 2 and Sector 3, but Sector 1 currently quickest is Hammers, who's in 5th place there. So about a 1/10 of a second to gain, so we could be looking at Bob down into 27.7s. Hummer is on his way back to the pits. Bob Spun will be the first to start. Who have we got behind the fog? Or that's Hummer's. Right, okay, so Bob just about to start his, well, I'd say his final lap. He would have a chance for another one if he does mess this one up, but it's pretty much his last run either way. So here we go, flat out. Let's have a little bit of exterior view. Been very much just looking at the onboard camera. I'm just also going to check, make sure that we are live. I've been chatting away for nearly 20 minutes and we could well not be live, but no, looks like we are, so that's good. Okay, one less thing to worry about. So Bob on his final run. Has he had a pole position this year? He has one pole position. Interestingly enough, championship leader Hammers has not had a pole position all season. So it just shows that he is very, very strong in the races, makes up those places. Qualifying not always so important. Obviously it is at somewhere like Monaco, but a lot of the tracks we have right, so Bob coming round into the chicane. We'll see what time he's going to post. Apologies, I wasn't looking, I was looking at the time, so I'm not sure where he is on split times. It crosses the line at 27.889, so a 0.036 improvement, but improvement nevertheless. Hammer's coming across at 28.2. Who is next? We're looking at the Alpine of Hav is going to be next across the line. He's down on his time, so not really going to improve. Bognapanti is very slow, looks like he's backed out. This is going to be a second out lap for him. Then behind him we have Connor, who is nearly a second up on his time. We could be looking at about 28.4 here. 28.3, good improvement there by Connor, pops himself up into third place. 10th of a second slower than he managed yesterday. So Bog into 6th position there. Yeah, the only one who can improve is Bob, and I don't think he's on a lap. Ralph, how's he doing? This in Spoon. Slightly down on his time. So he should pull a little bit out just to get an improvement, to get himself up into that top 8. So Ralph coming around the final corner now. We'll see what time he can get. 28.8. Pops him up into 8th position. So the only one left on track is Bob. I don't think he's on a lap, no need, because he has pole position. So well done to him. Second pole position of the season. Hope you don't do that in the race, sir. But well done to him. Hammers taking 2nd place. So again, another front row start for Hammers, looking to increase his championship lead even further if he can. Obviously the two championship protagonists really in 1st and 2nd there. Hummer in 4th position. So I think Hummer's got a bit more pace in him there, but I just don't think he could get the lap together. Brother Adam is on an out lap for some reason, which doesn't really make sense. So our grid for today, once this has actually come to an end, Bob Spun will be taking pole position. And Hammer's joining him on the front row of the grid. Then the second row of the grid we will have Havoc, Connor and Hummer GP1. Just waiting for it to bring up the official results. I really don't know what's going on here with Brother Adam while we keep going out. Right, okay, looks like the session has ended now. So a bit of a glitch there. So Brother Adam, I think, did he join late? We'll find out here. So right, anyway, so as I say, Bob Spun and Hammers taking the front row of the grid. Bob Spun second pole position of the season with a cracking time of 27.889. Havoc, Connor and Hummer taking the second row of the grid in third and fourth respectively. Mellow Donkey in fifth, Brother Adam in sixth, Bog taking seventh place alongside Double in the Alfa Romeo in eighth. Then we've got Ralph in ninth, Skipper in 10th, Scully in 11th, Composite 12th, Pavlosidor in 13th, 14th place going to Bajar Penty. So Bob looks like the one to beat so far, but will he be the one to beat in the race? We will find out very, very shortly.
The beloved Suzuka had a couple of unplanned years away from the calendar, but it's now back where it belongs, at the heart of the Formula One season. Welcome along to the Japanese Grand Prix. We're southwest of the city of Nagoya today at the unique figure-of-8 Suzuka circuit. 3.6 miles and 18 corners make up a lap here, with average speeds approaching 136 miles per hour. DRS will be available, of course, into the potential passing opportunity at turn 1, although the best place for overtaking will be through 130R and into the final chicane.
Well, welcome back everybody. We are on the grid, 14 cars tonight. What we will do is have a quick look to see what tyres everybody's gone for. So Bob going for the soft tyres. Medium soft is completely doable here. Around about sort of 21 laps if you can, maybe 19 laps on the mediums. Oh, pardon me. And then a swap. I'll start again, shall I? So basically, you're looking at about 17, 18 laps on the mediums, and then switch on to the soft tyres for the remainder. Obviously, both tyres will just start to struggle a little bit towards the end of their stints, but they are more than achievable as long as you are easy on the throttle. Obviously, a few hard traction zones here. But yeah, majority going for the mediums. Got Bob Spun in first position on the softs. Scully and Composite 11th and 12th, also on softs. Baja Penty in 14th on softs. And Pavlosidor, interestingly, going for a very long run on the hards. They are not the best tyre around here. So Bob coming up the back straight now. You get as much heat as you can into those tyres. And so it looks like a dry race. So we're going to be fully dry on a race and qualifying. Was vigorously heating up his tyres there. We've still got a long way to wait though. Not just coming out of the chicane is Bajar at the back. Not sure it's Bajar or Badger. Or I'm going to call him Bajar. So if it's wrong, please correct me, and I'll get it right next week. But good to see you here. Right, okay, so we are all lined up. A few disqualifications there where people have overshot their marks. Nothing major. Waiting for the lights to come on and then go out for the start of the Japanese Grand Prix. a long wait on here. Never looks good when you have a huge long wait. And dead silence there as we are waiting for something to happen with Codemasters, or EA as it is now, deciding it doesn't want to start. So obviously everyone's tyres are going to get nice and cold at this point, and we're probably going to end up having to quit the lobby, quit the stream, and start it up again. Excuse a moment of quiet whilst I'm okay, they're just having a discussion at the moment as to how to sort this out. I'm really not sure what is going on here. Okay, so does look like we're maybe having a few connection issues here. So as I say, we're just waiting for... Oh, hold on. Oh, here we go. Lights are out and away we go. So that was a bit of a shocking start there. I don't think anybody was really expecting that. But right, okay, so we are off into the first turn, and Hammer's looking to make a move up the inside of Bob Spun, and he does, but Bob Spun then taking the position right back there. So Brother Adam has been disconnected, so I think he might have been a slight issue. I know he's been having a few issues with his internet, but hopefully he can get himself back in and join the race. Currently in 6th position. Okay, so apart from that, not too many movements other than Scully with a rocket start, making up 4 places into 7th from 11th. Biggest loser, Bog. Not sure what happened to Bog. Obviously getting involved in something around that first corner. It is so difficult when you are caught up in traffic. In the bunch from the start. I actually prefer starting at the back of the grid. I just let it go, and normally by sort of 10, 3 or 4, you've picked up 3 or 4 places from where people have got off, but you've kept your front wing. It's not perhaps the ideal strategy. Right. It is a bit laggy, this lobby tonight, I have to admit, but Hummer on the back of Hammers, and now on the took him on the outside there, actually made that before the corner. We've got a virtual safety car. Who is that for? Can't see much going on, so I think it might have just been an off-track moment, and the safety car's been pulled out as a precaution. But Hammer's losing a place there to Hummer. So we're just waiting for the virtual safety car to end. Hopefully nobody will get any speeding under the safety car penalties. Obviously the drive-through is a complete nightmare and pretty much can be your race over. Scully there, I noticed, jumping up into 6th place and making up another place, 5 positions. Oh, Bob Spun, seriously? Bob Spun picking up a drive-through penalty that has potentially completely gazumped him for this race. He has to serve that within 5 laps, and yeah, I can understand that. So Bob is out of the race. We've got another virtual safety car, not going to be a full one called, but Bob, I think a little bit of frustration getting in there through getting a drive-through penalty, whether it was justified or not. Pretty much at the time it isn't. This game just jumps about all over the place with the Delta. So unfortunate for Bob there, was looking so good. But now out of the race. So Hummer taking over the lead of the race, still under virtual safety car conditions. Hummer's half a second back. In third, so Scully up to 5th position now. Hammer's getting a drive through for speeding under the virtual safety car. Well, the two championship leaders both had a drive-through penalty. Unfortunately for Bob, it ended up with him also spinning out into the wall. For Hammers, he is going to have to serve that drive-through penalty, so it's going to be a bit of a comeback by him if he's still going to get himself up onto the podium. But if anyone can in this division, Hammers is your man. You see him closing in on Hummer now. He'll obviously need to serve this penalty within 5 laps, so doesn't need to do it immediately. So Ralph just getting past Brother Adam there. I'm not sure if Brother Adam's back in the game or not at the moment. But here we go. Hammers looking for the move around 130R and does indeed take the lead of the Japanese Grand Prix. Whether he's going to dive into the pits now or give it a couple of laps, just try and stretch that gap out a little bit further, he is serving it now. So Hummer retakes the lead. Looking to make it 3 wins out of 4 races. So Hammer's now dropping, yeah, it's, I think it's going to drop him down to 12th. His guys are going to get him as well. He does, so yeah, Hammer's down into 12th position. Absolute pain for him there. So right, Scully all over the back of man like donkey now. Scully looking really strong today, currently in 4th place, making 7 positions up and looking for a possible podium if he can catch and get past man like donkey. He's got a handy 4.5 second gap behind him to Ralph, so a bit of a safety net there. But Scully only about 3 seconds off of the lead, so it's a cracking drive by him so far. So the fight back begins for Hammers, already past Barjar, up into 11th. Now got a 4-second gap to bridge to Pavlosidor. I don't think that will take him too long with the pace differential. Then he's got Composite and Skipper to get past just ahead. The Williams duo are not the easiest people to pass. They are seasoned veterans at racing. They know exactly where to place the car to make it very difficult for you to make that move. Brother Adam now closing up and overtaking Ralph. Scully is harassing man like donkey. He's literally all over the back of him. A bit further back, Composite obviously just behind his teammate. I don't think they will be fighting too much. I think just look at using each other to drag themselves along and try and get up to the lead pack. Not too far away in things. In fact, Skipper is right on the back of Bog now, and Bog only 1.7 seconds behind Ralph. So I think Bog getting involved in some mayhem in sort of turns 1 and 2 on the first lap, dropping down a few positions, slowly making his way back up. I think he's back to where he started now, which is about 7th, so we'll see if he can progress further. Obviously with those medium tyres as well, we'll be looking at going further than some of those in front. So let's get the tyres back up so we can actually see what people are on. Man like donkey now closed right onto the back of Connor, and Scully dropped just a little bit further back. So it looks like Connor might have made a mistake because he was a lot closer to Hummer than that. And man like Donkey does sweep past him. Indeed, Brother Adam there with a 131.804. So I am assuming that is him back in, and it's not the AI. So good to have you back. We're currently in 5th place, not too far off the lead. So Brother Adam is more than capable of putting in a good run as well and getting a good result today. Hammer's 1.5 seconds now behind Pav. Looked like Pav had a bit of a struggle going through the beginning of the S's there. So championship leader Hammer's in 11th, cutting that gap down 1.3. Obviously the big difference of tyre compound between the soft and the hard, so Hammers should have oodles more pace, which he is, to be honest. He's catching 10th after 10th after 10th. Bog now close on the back of Ralph, managed to close that gap down, was about 1.7 seconds, has shrunk that down to now under a second, so he'll be within the DRS zone. Man like Donkey keeping ahead of Connor, but Connor should have the DRS, well, he will have the DRS. We'll see if it's enough to get him past a man like Donkey, who had a complete and utter tank slapper there. Absolutely well done to Connor for missing him. Scully getting a bit of a run now. So Brother Adam behind in 5th, 2.9 seconds, so he is now closing on to Scully. I think those soft tyres might be just about reaching their peak and starting to drop off. Obviously a few more laps yet before they are gone, but the medium tyre will be the better tyre at the moment. Bog half a second behind Ralph, so he's closing. Just needs to keep himself there for the start-finish line. And can use the DRS to catapult himself past Ralph, and then he'll be on the hunt for Brother Adam. Oh, Hammers is all over the back of Pavlosidor. When is he going to go for the move? Not just there. So we've got both McLarens looking at making a move imminently. Bog, see if he gets a good drive out of here. He's got a decent drive. If he can just stick the A, is he going to go for the move? This could be messy. No one's given up yet. They are side by side going in this game. Bog finally making that move. Whilst we were watching that, I missed Hammers getting past Pavlosidor, but quite bullish there from Bog, not giving up on that position. But Ralph wasn't going to give it to him anyway. He fought for it. So Bog up into 6th, Hammers up into 10th. Right, jump back to the front. Hummer now opened up a 3.8 second gap. What's happened to Adam? Adam has had a spin going through the S's, I think up into the first part of Dunlop there. Well, when he just touched the inside curb, and unfortunately that is enough to spin you round. So all that hard work, he's dropped himself back down to 10th after the well, he started off well, then got disconnected, obviously dropped down, has worked his way back again, and now a small mistake dropping him down into 10th position, but he'll regroup and come again. So Bog in 5th, Scully, let's say impressive, up in 4th position, and keeping a man like Donkey honest as well. He's dropped some time on this lap though, was about 0.8. He's now 1.6, so I think those softs may well be reaching the end of their life for Scully. So we could be looking at the first round of pit stops anytime soon. So Ralph now coming under pressure from Skipper. Composite has dropped 5 seconds off him as well, so I do wonder if it is, I say those soft tyres starting to struggle, but Hammers is absolutely still flying on them. He's finding pace. Just dropping a little bit further back behind Ralph there. Ralph 1.5 seconds behind Bog now. Bog closing that gap in on Scully. This being the closest battle that we have on track at the moment. She's still a long way to go. 18 laps plus the one that we are on. Skipper closing in nicely and now on the back of Ralph. Can he get a decent drive here and get that DRS open? Hopefully he has some ERS, can use that as well. He has got ERS, but looks like Ralph got the better exit there and keeps that position. Bog just ahead now, 1.1 behind Scully, so is closing that gap down. Scully dropping to 2.4 behind Man Like Donkey now, so I do think we're at that point where tyres might need to be changed. Kana picking up a penalty there. I think feeling a bit of pressure with Man Like Donkey closing him down 1.5 seconds behind. But someone who's not feeling any pressure at all, I don't think, is Hummer. Like he's having a bit of a leisurely Sunday drive there and just keeping everybody behind him. So looking, as I say, for his third race victory in 4 races. But wouldn't be a bad run of results. 3 firsts and a 3rd place in his last 4. Will certainly catapult him up that the championship table. So as it stands at the moment, Hammers down in 8th position. And closing in on Skipper, so he is past Composite now. Bog still close to the back of Scully, 0.6 now, so that's come down. So it was a 2.4, then 1.7, then we're looking at about the 1.4, now down to just half a second. So I think Bog, is he going to get enough of a slipstream here? So sometimes you just need to be patient around this circuit and look to either line it up coming out of Spoon onto the back straight, or down the start-finish line with DRS and ERS assistance. Apart from that, you're just hoping that the car in front makes a mistake where you can take advantage of it, basically. Okay, so Pav into the pits, obviously going to be looking at getting rid of those hards. So he's only done 10 laps on them, but I assume he's going to go mediums, softs. Okay, well, you're not going to get 16.5 laps out of the soft, so that's an interesting one. Who else was it that came in? Bajar came in, he's gone on to the hards, then could have gone to the mediums, and they would have lasted him to the end of the race, but perhaps might be a bit heavier on tyre wear than some. Bog now 0.2 behind, can't get much closer without actually getting past Scully. Scully doing a bit more weaving there than he does on the football pitch. Here's Bog lining up the move on Scully. I don't think Scully's going to make it too difficult for him. At the end of the day, it is going to be 4th position for Bogarowski, but Scully's still doing well. If he could just keep himself, saw a position change with Composite into the pits, looking at ditching those softs. So he's the first of the soft runners to come in. My assumption will be he will slap on a nice fresh shed of mediums. He does indeed. They will take him to the end of the race. I think Hammers is going to be too far behind, and Scully also starting to struggle now, 1.2 behind. Got Ralph all over the back of him. So I think those tyres are pretty much fallen off a cliff now for Scully. Ralph still struggling to get past Scully, and Skipper now closed up as well. So we've got a nice trio here. I say Scully rightly holding his position. Does look a little bit laggy actually, Scully, but I'll be honest, the whole game seems to have been laggy tonight. In fact, it seems to have been laggy since about June when it was released. But F1 24 coming out soon. Heard mixed reviews on it. Obviously, a lot of them are very negative. But we'll wait and see. Still time to go before the release date yet. But Scully now ditching those tyres, coming into the pits. He'll look at a fresh set of mediums. Hammer's still going on those soft tyres. Now only 2 seconds behind Skipper. Pulled out, got a 10-second gap behind him. Well, it'll be 21. Composite has pitted. Right, okay, so let's get back to the battle at the front. Or front-ish, with Skipper now closing in on Ralph. So Connor just getting that gap down a bit at the front. Still round about the 4 seconds, but had eked itself out a bit further. So Connor is reeling it in very, very slightly, but still a long way to go to get that in. Brother Adam now all over the back of Composite. Brother Adam going for the hard tyres. So he will comfortably get those to the end of the race. That's all over the back of Skipper as well. His Hammers are now going to pit. Nope. Hammers is going to continue. Who has pitted? Ralph has come in and pitted to get rid of those mediums already. There is 13 laps to go. He's going to have to go for a set of hards because a set of softs aren't going to take him to the end. He does indeed. But that promotes Hammers up into 6. Obviously still with a pit stop to make. He's going to drop a few positions, but I can't see him dropping much further than about 8th or 9th. And then it's just a matter of him working his way back through the grid. Gap at the front as well is coming down, now down to 2.9 seconds. So we were up at about 4.7 at one point. So Connor is reeling this in ever so slightly. Man like Donkey further 3 seconds behind Connor, with Bog 3 seconds behind him, Skipper 3 seconds behind him, and then we have Hammers looking to get his away. Sorry, just going to look at Scully as well. Scully also very, very close to the back of Ralph. Scully making that pit stop, coming out on a fresh set of mediums. Should have much more grip than the hards in front. Ralph hasn't done any laps yet either, so still going through the warm-up phase of those. So Hammers doesn't manage to make the move before the start-finish line. Before the chicane, but will do along the start-finish line. That's what I meant to say. And here we go. So Hammers up into 5th place, just his teammate ahead of him. Brother Adam all over the back of Composite, and wary of Scully as well, just behind Ralph. So we've got a few little battles that are getting close together. Brother Adam now opening with DRS and ERS assistance. Is he going to make this stick into turn 1? He does indeed. So Brother Adam back up into 9th position, and Composite down to 10th. Scully harassing the back of Ralph, desperately wants to get his way past on the faster compound. Will then go on the hunt for Skipper, who hasn't stopped yet. So quite important laps for Scully here. Doesn't want to get himself caught up behind Ralph for too long. Otherwise he is going to lose time for the leaders. And still possibility of a podium for him, the way he's been driving tonight. Certainly got the speed for it. Right, Hummer into the pits. Slaps on a fresh set of softs to take him to the end of the Grand Prix. So he is going to be quick. Comes out there in 6th position, basically. First position. We'll see what kind of gap he's holding over his teammate. About 11-second gap behind him. So Scully just losing touch a little bit with Ralph now. Almost dropping to outside of that second. Doesn't want to let that happen because then he's going to lose the DRS and probably find himself losing a lot more ground. So Connor leading in the Aston Martin. Connor was leading, now in the pits, Donkey into the pits, Bog decides to carry on, Hammers decides to carry on. How far is he going to take those softs? You're not really gaining anything now, Hammers, by staying out on those, my friend. You probably would be better off slapping on a fresh set of mediums and getting the best out of them that you possibly can. Also you've got the possibility of double stacking now. But Hummer up into 3rd place again, looking about 10 seconds behind the lead. 8 seconds behind Hammers, so excuse me. So we've got a McLaren 1-2, although they do still have to pit. Right, so what have we got going on? Scully dropped off of the back of Ralph now, so he is going to find himself, I think, becoming a bit more susceptible to Skipper behind. Really needs to close that gap back down and get within the DRS zone. Ralph is 1.5 seconds behind a man like Donkey, and Connor in 4th position after pitting, coming out in 4th, so has got that penalty though, which is going to hurt him towards the end of the race, certainly if there's a late safety car. Right, anybody pitting? Hammers is now ditching at those soft tyres. He'll come in and slap on a fresh set of mediums. And Bog, I would have thought, would probably be on the next lap to put on a nice fresh set of soft tyres, which will take him to the end. So where is Hammers going to come out? We've got a gaggle of cars coming down now, which I think he is going to lose the positions to, which he does. So there goes Donkey, there goes Ralph, there goes Scully, there goes Skipper. Is he going to get out ahead of Skipper? He does, so comes out behind Scully. So we'll see if there are any friends. Scully and Hammers obviously friends in real life. We'll see if there are any friends on the track. So Bog coming up to the hairpin. Lap number 18, so 10 laps to go, including the one that we're on, 9 laps after this one. So Bog, I am sure, are going to come in. His tyres are looking terrible. Right, so here he is going around 130R up to the chicane. I'm sure we'll dart off to the right now down the pit lane and look very much forward to that fresh set of soft tyres for the last 9 laps of this race. So Hummer will retake the lead. Connor will retake second place. Where is Bob going? So he was just ahead of his teammate, Man Like Donkey, at 30.610, the fastest lap of the race. Bog now coming out. Is Hammers going to get past him? Hammers is going to get past him, as is Skipper, as is Scully. So Bog out in 8th place, but as I say, on those fresh softs, he should be quicker than Scully in front of him. And Ralph further up the road, but obviously has Skipper and Hammers on exactly the same tyres. So Bog now all over the back of Scully and Hammers all over the back of Ralph. So the McLaren boys seem to be the ones that are on a move at the moment. Oh, a little bit of a squiggle there from Scully, opens the door really for Bog to make the move up the inside. Manages to put himself back in line to take 130R. So Bog up into 7th place. I think the next move is going to be Hammers, whether he's going to be able to do it down the start-finish line. I think he is. DRS open, he's closing. Dart to the inside, and Hammers up to 4th, Ralph down in to 5th. So Bog's not done yet. He is sniffing around the rear end of a Skipper. I think once he gets past then, he will go on the hunt for Ralph as well. Obviously on those hard tyres, he's going to be hugely slower than the soft tyres around him. But at the front, Connor, 2.7 seconds behind Hummer. I mean, Hummer again has pretty dominant in the race, taking the lead early on and just not giving it up at all. Quite happy to be out front. Obviously Bob Spun would have given him a run for his money. I think was probably the faster of the drivers, but an unfortunate incident under virtual safety car, getting a drive-through penalty and then getting back underway. Unfortunately he lost it on the exit of Spoon, crashing on the left hand side and taking his front left wheel off. So a shame for Bob, looking very handy tonight. Would have potentially been my tip for the win, I think, but you come back again next week, my friend, Brazil, and see if we get any better luck there. So Skipper is still on the back of Bogarowski, so he's not giving up on that. Bog 1.6, 1.5 now behind Ralph, so we should see that time starting to tumble down. Gap at the front, 2.6. Oh, Connor, you got another penalty, my friend. I think that's 6 seconds. Such a shame. I hope he can pull out enough and keep a podium, but I think Hammers is going to have something to say about that. He's on a bit of a charge as well. That gap to Donkey down to 3 seconds. But again, a great recovery for Hammers. Unfortunately, picking up a drive through under the virtual safety car just after Bob did, and serving it, coming out pretty much at the back of the field, has worked his way back through, then making a late pit stop, taking the soft tyres far further than I thought they would ever go. Now jumping. Did Hammers start on softs? If so, he's got to pit again, hasn't he? Let's have a quick look at Race Director just to see. So Hammers... Oh no, he's medium soft, so apologies. Yeah, I thought he was on. So everybody has now changed tyres, so Hammers is in this forwarder position. Okay, brother Adam trying to make a recovery as well. I say starting well, got disconnected, dropped back because safety car. Who have we lost? Double. Oh, double. What happened to you? So double must have lost it. Waiting for it to, so there, so again he would have lost it about the same pace as Bob coming out of Spoon. Right, okay, so what do the leaders do? We've got 5 laps to go. Do you come in and risk it and put on a fresh set of softs, or do you stay out? 6 laps to go, and Hummer's going for the fresh set, Connor is going for the fresh set. Bog's in a great position to stay out, 3 lap old tyres. It's not worth him pitting. Same as Hammers. Ralph into the pits. I think Skipper will probably stay out. He does indeed. So Hummer has come out in 4th position on a fresh set of softs. Hammers just Havoc Honor just behind him. Then we've got Skipper in 6th. He's on 6 lap old, so he stayed out. So top 3 staying out. Man like Donkey 6 lap old softs. Hammers 5 lap old softs. Bog 4 lap old softs. Then we've got the complete fresh softs of Hummer and Connor. So still could be a race victory on the table for Hammers here. Managed to drag himself back into it. Now currently sitting in 2nd place. Going to have probably one more lap under safety car, I would have thought, by the time everybody catches up. So the field is quite spread out. Bajar, has he been lapped? I think he must have been. But yeah, Pav isn't even on the start-finish line yet. So safety car's going to be out for one more lap. That means, lap 23. Going at the end of lap 24, I would have thought. So it'll give us 25, 26, 27, so it'll give us 3 laps potentially of racing. They're pretty much the same as we had in Division 1 last night. A 3-lap sprint. DRS obviously not available for this first 2 laps, but I'll be honest here, it will be useless on the 3rd lap, because by the time you come round the final corner to turn on the DRS, you've got the start-finish line literally a couple of 100 metres down the road. So it's you're not going to get an awful lot of benefit from the DRS. Safety car does indeed stay out for another lap. So Pav coming, he's not sure if Pav's under Delta. I'm not even sure if he's going to catch the safety car at the end of this lap, to be honest. We will see. Right, let's get back to the front here. So Hammers, championship leader, has worked his way all the way back up to second place. Got his teammate behind him as well for a bit of a buffer. And I can tell you, Bog is not the easiest person to overtake at all. Knows how to place a car, knows how to make it very, very difficult for you to overtake behind. Completely legal. Controller's just about to run out. Got that in time. Yeah. So yeah, he could use Bog holding up the field and give him a chance to get away, certainly from those fresh soft runners just behind. Hummer has been pretty much faultless so far this race. Was caught between the Devil and Deep Blue, I think, and the safety car here as to whether to stay out and risk it on the softs, obviously losing traction towards the end of the race, but decided he would rather be on the fresh softs. Was followed by Connor as well, so the two of them going for that. So here we go. I think safety car should hopefully come in at the end of this lap. There's no need for it to stay out any further. I think Pav has finally found his way onto the back of the field. He has indeed. There is safety car coming in. Can be, yeah, no. It can be a very late call, but safety car is still flashing. Yep, safety car in this lap. That is a hugely late call. So when is Donkey gonna go? Now. He has no. Oh, you can't do that. You can't go and stop. That's what causes accidents further back. Oh, Hummer getting a bit impatient there, hitting the back of Bogorowski, but all of this is really good for Hammers, as if Bog can just keep Hummer behind him. So everybody else get through okay, good. Right, let's stick back to the battle for the lead between the Red Bull Man Like Donkey and the two McLarens of Hammers and Bogorowski. Hummer, not too much for us. Hummer made a mistake. I think Hummer has lost an end plate. Front left end plate, yeah, he's lost front left end plate in that contact with Bogorowski, and we've got a massive crash at the back here. Bajar Panti, brother Adam involved. We've got 3 cars involved there, Pavlosidor as well. Ay, ay, ay. We will not have a safety car because we haven't got enough laps left for it, I don't think, or have we? No, we continue. So Hammers. Ay, 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 ay. What is going on? Skipper, yeah, now struggling a little bit with that front. Hummer struggling with that broken front left end plate, but it's just not worth coming into the pits. I know you lose time out on track, but you'll lose more time if you come into the pits. Hammers now closing on the back of Man Like Donkey. Bog in a solid 3rd position, currently nearly a 2-second gap back to Hummer. As I'm not sure with that, I think Hummer was probably just a little bit impatient. Probably different braking areas going into turns 1 and 2, obviously with vehicles ahead. The car in front can make a sudden braking, but yeah, obviously just nudging the back of Bogorowski, braking his front left end plate, and pretty much putting pay to his chance of a race victory. So Hammers, and he's Connor down in 7th as well. It's such a good race for him. What happened to brother Adam? Where's brother Adam? He's out. We're losing people hand over fist going into these final couple of rounds. Whoa! 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 Side by side, going round into the chicane, and Hammers takes the lead. And manages to get a nice little pull there as well. So he has They're pretty similar on their ERS, but Hammers has made a bit of a breakthrough there. Bog now all over the back of Man Like Donkey, looking at trying to make this a McLaren 1-2, maximum points for them, as if they need it in the championship with a huge gap of about 63 points, I think it is. This will increase it by a huge amount and pretty much put one hand on the trophy with 3 rounds left to go. So this round number 7 of our 10-round championship. Whoa! And Hummer there, unfortunately, just going wide. I say that's the rear end plate, or the front left end plate missing has just made it so difficult to him. But right, let's go back to the front and follow Hammers as he goes round Spoon for the final time. Bit of an up and down race for him. Started second position, getting a drive through early on under the safety car, having to serve that, dropping pretty much to the end of the to the back of the grid, having to work his way through on the medium tyres and pitting on to the softs, taking the lead with just 1 lap to go. But Bog also sniffing all over the back of Man Like Donkey, wants to make that a 1-2 if he can. But here we go, Hammers taking the victory. Congratulations to him. Man Like Donkey picking up second, Bog a great third place for you. Ralph in fourth, Connor coming home in 6th. Is he going to keep that? No. Scully now getting 6th, Hummer getting 7th, Connor dropping down to 8th because of that 6-second time penalty. Then got Composite will be crossing the line to finish in 9th position. So we've got 10 finishes from 14 runners. Unfortunately, we've got double Panty and brother Adam late on. So Pavlosidor picking up the final point. But anyway, Composite coming across in 9th. And Pavlosidor will pick up the final point, coming across in 10th position. But congratulations to Hammers picking up another win this season. That will extend his championship lead, certainly with pretty much his closest rivals not finishing today. So going to be a huge increase in his championship lead there. I mean, we've got Bob Spahn in second, Hummer and brother Adam. So yeah, it's a very, very good day for Hammers. Good day for McLaren, first and third. Man Like Donkey driving a good race to pick up second position. We'll run through the proper results in a minute. Just let them enjoy their moment, spraying themselves in champagne. Okay, so let's just get the final classifications up. Any minute now. The game has been a bit buggy tonight. So obviously with that at the start of the race, thinking that we were going to have to restart the lobby. Luckily we didn't. And now we're waiting for the classifications. Just wondering if it went to the stewards and they're having to make a decision. But anyway, I mean, I know Hammer's obviously taking the victory for McLaren. Man Like Donkey, the runners-up spot in the Red Bull. Then Bogorovsky in third place in the McLaren. So first and third for McLaren. Good haul of points. Skipper taking fourth place in his Williams. In fifth, Ralph Albers. Scully, excellent sixth position, picking up points there for him. Seventh is Hummer, or was Hummer, should I say. Unfortunately, didn't turn out quite the way he planned it. But anyway, finishing seventh position. Connor picking up eighth position. Ninth position going to Composite, and then the last of the finishers was Pavlosidor. Then we had the DNFs of Brother Adam, Buzzer Panty double, and Bob spun early on after that. I say unfortunate drive-through penalty and then losing it coming out of spoon. So that brings a close to round number 7, Japanese Grand Prix. We will be back next week, and we are at Interlagos, Brazil, for round number 8, obviously into the final 3 rounds of the season. So at this rate, Hammers could find himself pretty much proclaimed as champion before we get to the last race. So, but anyway, congratulations to the podium and to everybody tonight. Some good racing out there. Always good to see. I'll be back next week, same time, different place, because obviously we'll be at Brazil. But thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see